All right, once again, we're back. And guess what? We've made some progress. So if you remember what I got yesterday, I just had the one figure. I added a second figure. I added this dwarf in front, and I did the background, and I kind of redid it to have these sort of open things, this sort of 3 arches, cave arches, and a stairway over on this side. I think it fills out the space pretty nicely. There's my dwarf with a halberd. I even finished a second piece. I did a demon. If you want to see what the original looked like, let me take the inking out. You can see there's my original sketch. Demon emerging from shadows. Let me get rid of that. Now, to finish this off, I need to do my third piece, the oracle chamber, or the guy doing the oracle. So, let's go ahead and get started. I could start with the central figure. And while I do that, I'm trying to think of a suitable outfit for my central figure. He should have an interesting hand gesture, right? Some kind of, is he casting a spell? Is he, I'm not sure what he's doing yet, but I'm gonna do that. He's summoning the spirits somehow. And over here, I'm gonna have palm out here. So, and if you recall the rule, it's when in doubty, one finger outie. So we're gonna separate the fingers slightly. And actually, it looks like my hand is too small. Okay, this looks okay, but I messed it up by resizing it. So we're gonna cut and paste, throw it on its own layer, drop the opacity, go back to the inking layer. And actually, let's go back to the pencil layer first and just erase what we had. Does that look like it's about the right size? I think that's about the right size. And then we just go over and re-ink it. And I admit that I don't completely trust what I penciled in. When I look at it, this is the tallest finger, right? By a slight amount. This is going to be a female warrior. This is going to be a male, I don't know, we can make him a cleric, and this will be a male warrior. Maybe he's a thief. So we have a spellcaster, warrior. This guy is either like a thief or a cleric, I think. But for right now, I think we're just going to worry about our spellcaster. For right now, I'm going to leave his eyes closed. Maybe he's an elf. I'll give him big elfin ears. could do him as an older guy with a beard. I could do it as a younger guy. A number of different ways to make this picture come to life, we hope. I like the idea of a big collar. Big Doctor Strange collar. When you're illustrating for like fantasy role-playing stuff, one of the things that you should be conscious of is this a character that somebody out there might wish to play? Like, not literally, but you know, the artwork in role-playing games is meant to inspire. You know, it's meant to make people think, oh, I wish I could be doing something like that, or that makes me want to play a spellcaster next time, or makes me want to be a cleric next time, or whatever. The one thing you don't want to be is boring. That's in my opinion. And there are people they'll say, oh, it should be realistic and historical, which is, by the way, boring. So if you're going to make it historical, make sure that it's interesting at least. All right, here we go. It's just traditional that wizards would wear robes. Putting some shadow there because I want to have some light down here. I've got these cards and things. There we go. Lately, I've been listening to like a lot of audiobooks. I go walking every day. And if you have an Audible subscription, which is like Amazon's spoken, book service. I got this when I first started traveling because I was, in the car a lot, and I have enjoyed it ever since. However, I think the first version of it I got the one that was maybe more expensive than I needed. It gave me a credit every month, which is good to basically download a new book. And the books I'm getting are like, some of them are, 12 hours, 8 hours, 20 hours. I got Elric for one credit. For one credit, I got 4 books of the Elric saga. So it's like 12 hours long. Because it's not just Elric of Melniboné, which is the first one. And it's not even the second one. I'm into the Dream Thief story right now. And I also got Knight's Master, which is Tanith Lee. and I didn't realize there's 4 books of that. So I might eventually get even more of those. I've been listening to that one at night, and unfortunately I've been so tired that I haven't really listened very long each night. But I've also listened to 2 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books, including the very last one, which is the longest one. I think it was 23 hours. Nope, I don't think I like those. Maybe he's got some bangles or bracelets of some kind. And of course, these are just rough outlines, and we're going to go in and add more details. Maybe design up the figure a little bit more. I like the idea of a medallion here of some kind. All right, let's take a look at without the pencils. So we're starting to get our spellcaster or our diviner of sorts. He's starting to come in. Maybe he's got some kind of prayer beads or something kind of wrapped around. Like that. Got to figure out how to, I'm going to have to look at some reference for clothing folds, because obviously there's going to be some clothing folds in these sleeves. And I just don't know how it's done yet. So probably definitely worth. Hey, look. Why not there? Okay. This clothing fold, actually I do understand a little bit. Angled towards the viewer. So this one could be angled away, maybe. Or maybe it's also angled towards the viewer. So we can see a little bit on inside. All right. It'll probably be too small to really see at the size that the print is going to be, but put a little eyeball in there. Okay. Now we could go into cliche, we could give him a little bit of a goatee. In fact, we might. Goatee with no mustache? Let's leave it there for now. All right. Now let's have our other skeptical characters here. It looks about right. You should be looking at the guy. I think I've robbed him of his chin a little bit. As a doughty warrior, which this is what this guy is, he doesn't put a lot of faith in magical mumbo jumbo. so that's why he's thinking this. And I don't think he would have his helmet on. I think he might, got his helmet off. Now I've got to get his stance right because it's he's got to be leaning back a little bit, right? Leaning back a little bit. I got to figure out what to do with these legs. I mean, these are probably okay. He's close. He's close to being okay. How to do folded arms. I know that there's an Etherington Brothers tutorial on the folded arms pose. It's a little tougher to get from the side. I'm just going to liberally use my eraser to cut away anything. I could even put a little cape or cloak. for this guy, maybe. I'm not sure about the cape yet. May have to do more figuring out on his outfit, because you know, normally when you're doing the sort of pelvic armor, you've got this sort of armored skirt thing looking here. Maybe there's a big piece of shoulder armor or shoulder pauldron, I believe it's called, or shoulder guard up here. This would be a gorget. Okay, well, we're starting to get some ideas here, but we are at the 20-minute mark. We're past the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to be stopping this for right now. I'm going to go back and get some nice reference, and I should have this done within hopefully another day or two, and then we'll start on the page of spot illustrations, which will be our next thing. And his head's bigger than this, which implies that he's in front of this guy, but so I think I might have to redraw the head on this guy to make him bigger, or make this whole figure bigger. I'm looking at it. All right, please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will be drawing every day. Talk to you later.